The coronavirus continues to spread its fear across the United States, and now it's forced UNO to start making preparations for the outbreak to potentially hit Omaha. Good afternoon, I'm Cheyenne DeLeon.
And I'm Jack Hoover. Coming up, we take a look at two students in the UNO aviation program and how they're using their experience to earn their wings and soar to the skies.
All of this and more on the Omaha News.
From the studios of UNO Television, this is the Omaha News, presented by UNO School of Communication.
Now that the coronavirus has claimed 9 lives in the United States, UNO Senior Vice Chancellor Sasha Kopp and the college deans are implementing a preparedness plan in the event that the coronavirus causes long-term interruption of campus-based activities and classes. Each school has been told to develop a readiness plan after the number of those testing positive for the virus is up to 80 people here in the U.S., according to the CDC. As of this morning, the coronavirus is reported on both coasts, leaving universities and colleges on high alert across the country.
The sky is the limit for the future air pilots in the making. Reporter Jack Sapay soared through the skies to capture perspectives from 2 UNO aviation students.
Since its founding in 1990, students in the UNO Aviation Institute are able to choose classes and majors that help them pursue their dreams of exploring the skies. Student Damon Miller has been in the program for 3 years and cherishes every moment he gets flying amongst the clouds.
I've been flying since I was little. I went up with a kind of a distant family member and kind of let me take the controls, and I loved it since then. Didn't really know, what I wanted to do with it, and I kind of got towards the end of high school, and I'm kind of like, I want to figure out a way to make money with this.
Most students at UNO spend their times in the library or in study groups, but aviation students have a unique path towards graduation.
As far as pilot certificates go, you'll get your private pilot license, your instrument rating, commercial pilot license, multi-engine rating, and then your CFI, which is Certified Flight Instructor. Aviation
student Reed Frank goes through the same process, and for him, it's all about continuing the family legacy.
What sparked my interest was I'm a 4th generation pilot in my family, so it's literally runs in my blood. And so before I can even remember, I've been in, around, flying.
According to Boeing, airliners are estimated to need about 790,000 new pilots to keep up with demand by 2040.
We're extremely lucky to be in the position we are just because of the demand, because once you hit 65, you have to retire from the airlines.
As jobs in aviation are in high demand, the program gains attention from companies like Southwest and American Airlines for hiring positions. And after graduation, the sky is the limit.
I just signed on with Envoy Air. They're a regional airline. They're part of the American Airlines group. So I'll be taking a first officer position with them.
Living out of Atlanta, flying for Delta, that would make all my dreams come true.
Yeah, I always tell people it's like the ultimate sense of freedom. Being up in the air is amazing, but it's especially fun when you go up once in a while just for fun.
For the Omaha News, I'm Jack Sapay.
A 2016 report by Boeing shows that 42% of the pilots currently flying for the major airlines in the United States will reach their mandatory retirement age in the next 10 years.
Coming up, a dodgeball tournament at UNO not only helps students raise money for the American Heart Association, but raise their own heart rates as well.
Next, we take a look at some strong survivors who have battled against a disease that continues to plague millions.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There's a unique educational experience right here in Omaha. With access to top-rated programs, in-demand degrees, and a worldwide community of graduates, UNO prepares students for life, wherever it may lead. From Omaha to Italy to Uganda to Japan, Mavericks are working in communities around the globe. So where will a degree from UNO take you? UNO, access to exceptional, access to the world. Learn more at unomaha.edu.
Need an incentive to read? Use your Omaha Public Library card to check out a pass to the Henry Dorley Zoo. Each pass can admit up to 2 adults and 6 children for a one-time use. Passes are limited, so make sure to head to your library and check out a Henry Doorly Zoo pass today. Benson, where creativity is our culture. Benson's lively atmosphere offers a unique experience. Come enjoy great live music, enjoy a variety of bars, get amazing food from local restaurants, and shop at local businesses. Whatever you do, you won't be disappointed with your experience. Learn more at experiencebenson.com.
This is the Omaha News.
While millions of people face the grueling battle of cancer, many of these people don't have to fight alone. Reporter Rebecca Weiss is at our live table to share how one night celebrates cancer survivors for what they are, models.
According to cancerstats.org, in 2019, roughly 1.8 million people were diagnosed with cancer in the United States alone. The members of Omaha Fashion Week celebrated survivors of all kinds of cancers during the Methodist Cancer Survivor Show. Being diagnosed with cancer can deeply change a person's life. It can change the way they view life and themselves.
To be able to walk with my fellow sisters in pink or any other cancer survivor, it's very cool because we get the opportunity to do something fun. Instead of having all the bad things that we've gone through with the cancer diagnosis, this is the fun side.
Having a family history of cancer puts you at a risk for inheriting the disease. For Brandy Preston, this is no exception. When Preston was a young teenager, she found that she had an 82% chance of inheriting the disease. Preston, founder of nonprofit Hereditary Cancer Foundation, started the organization 5 years ago in loving memory of her mom. Preston's mother battled breast cancer at age 35, 38, and lost her battle at age 40.
A couple days before she died, she made me promise that I would know my risk of cancer and do something about it.
Hereditary Cancer Foundation offers genetic testing for people who have a family history of cancer. With her knowledge, Preston has taken precautions to lower her percentage.
I have a 7-year-old son, and I want to make sure that he doesn't lose his mom the way that I lost mine. And so having that test result really gave me the clear path to do what I needed to do to be here for my son.
Brandy hopes that they can prevent more families from experiencing the same hardships her and her family faced.
With the work that we're doing, that we're going to help a lot of other young girls be able to have their moms when they pick out their wedding dress and when they have their children. And those survivors are going to be here to see all of their kids grow up. And I wish my mom was here, but I know that she would be really proud of what we're able to do in her honor.
The most important message shared on Thursday night was no matter who you are, survivors stay strong together.
It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to break. Tacos break all the time, and we still love them. So you'll get through your bad days and just keep pushing.
According to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, there are more than 3.9 million breast cancer survivors living in the United States alone. Jack, back to you.
Thanks, Rebecca. Last week, competitors came together in Omaha for a special kind of tournament. Reporter Jimmy Carroll takes aim at one dodgeball tournament targeted at knocking out heart disease.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death among Americans, with approximately 647,000 people dying each year, according to the CDC. It's not a game of chance, but heart disease can be prevented. Rachel Larson, Corporate Development Director for the American Heart Association, said this is a wonderful opportunity to raise money and awareness.
The mission of the dodgeball tournament is really just to get the most amount of people involved, because every single person is touched in one way or another by heart disease and stroke, and we're trying to raise awareness and at the same time prevent, because heart disease is 80% preventable.
The mission of the American Heart Association is to improve heart health and reduce deaths from cardiovascular disease and strokes. The American Heart Association partnered with UNO and UNMC to dodge heart disease with the 3rd annual dodgeball tournament that took place on Friday. Dana Alm, a participant for the dodgeball tournament, spoke about her experience of having a stroke 1 year ago, which left her paralyzed on one side of her body, but has since recovered.
This is our first year. My I work for UNMC. We got a team together and wanted to do something to raise money, so we decided to do it together.
This year's dodgeball tournament was its best yet, with 23 teams, 185 players, and raising over $4,000. For the Omaha News, I'm Jimmy Carroll.
To date, AHA has donated over $4.5 billion in research, more than any American nonprofit association.
Coming up, one man's battle with cancer has become a fight for so many people. We look at how the voice of Baxter Arena is also the voice for strength.
Next, a mother-son duo has offered young skaters an opportunity to showcase their talent for years. Ethan Wolbach is at our sports desk to give us an insight on an event that puts the spotlight on the participants.
Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Nebraska weather got you down?
Yeah, sometimes it feels like I'm trapped in a snow globe.
I've got the thing for you. You need to head down to UNO's weight room and help in kinesiology. They have bench presses, they have treadmills, they have free weights, they have everything that will pump you up.
I'm gonna go head there right now.
So put on your gym shoes, make a protein shake, and go turn that plastic into muscle.
Explore the historic Blackstone district in Omaha, Nebraska. With over a dozen restaurants, bars, and social settings, you can experience everything the iconic district has to offer. Eat, drink, socialize, and enjoy the day or night here in Blackstone.
Radio isn't what your grandparents told you. It's about discovering facts from the other side of the story. But MavRadio.fm produces talent, people who can take someone's story and bring it to life.
Wind, reel, and print.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Omaha Sports. I'm your host, Ethan Walbach. Dating all the way back to 1981, figure skaters have been taking to the ice to compete in the Omaha Winter Festival. The event started as a way for local Omaha skaters to experience competition without having to break the bank.
Friends and families took a step inside the Moto McLean Ice Arena this past weekend to watch figure skaters participate in the Omaha Winter Festival. The event is something mother and son duo Rhonda and David Fessner have passionately been involved in for years.
You have to really, really enjoy the sport, otherwise it's not going to work.
As president of Blade and Edge, Rhonda Fessner's passion comes from one source.
Skaters that want to skate, and that's where Winterfest comes in.
Promotions for the Winter Festival are a very vital part in the event's success.
We try and get out to the community as much as possible. We try and do social media. We try and do everything we can.
And every hour spent working is worth it.
It's very important. It's pretty much like your second family.
While skaters may be alone out on the ice, constant support from families and coaches help propel their success here at the Winter Festival.
You've got to have that support from parents, friends, even schools.
That endless support sometimes isn't enough to calm a skater's nerves come showtime. Luckily, Rhonda always has some words of wisdom.
Go out there, make the ice your own. You're out there all by yourself. It is your competition. This is your time to shine.
Rhonda says a lot goes on behind the scenes to make that possible.
People, skaters, moms, dads, and some of the coaches. It takes a lot of volunteer people, a lot of volunteers.
The end result is something every skater hopes is worth the applause and even a stuffed animal to take home.
Since its inaugural year, the Omaha Winter Festival has evolved into so much more, with over 200 skaters participating this year alone. The Festners hope the event will continue to grow and promote figure skating across Omaha. Now, the Omaha men's basketball team has their sights set on Sioux Falls this weekend as they compete in the Summit League tournament. Omaha finished 5th in the conference standings after falling in their last contest to North Dakota State. Looking ahead to this weekend, the Mavericks will face off against the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles in the first round. Omaha and Oral Roberts split the regular season series, with each team winning at home. With a win against Oral Roberts, Omaha will face the winner of North Dakota and Denver. Tip-off is set for Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time. The Omaha women's basketball team will also travel north to Sioux Falls this weekend for their Summit League tournament. The Mavericks' win over Purdue Fort Wayne last Saturday solidified their spot as the number 8 seed in the conference. Omaha will face off against the number 1 seed and nationally ranked South Dakota Coyotes as they seek their first conference tournament win since the 2015 season. Tip-off for the matchup is set for noon on Saturday. With over 6,500 cases per year, acute lymphoblastic leukemia is a blood cancer that targets white blood cells in bone marrow. Harrison Pop reports on an Omaha man who says the support of the local sports community is helping him fight the disease.
It was a different look about him. You knew it wasn't the flu. You knew he didn't have a cold. It was different.
Mark Wilhelm recognized something was terribly wrong as his body began to fail on September 8th of 2017.
I couldn't function. I couldn't get up half a flight of stairs without having to stop. My body just didn't work.
In a 5-hour span, Mark went from public address announcing for the Omaha Mavericks,
"It's Maverick basketball time in Omaha!"
to being informed that he has 58% cancerous cells.
Initially, it's shock, and once that wears off, it becomes, what's next? How do I beat this?
Beating acute lymphoblastic leukemia has consumed Mark's daily regimen for nearly 3 years now. In fact, he spent 17 days after the diagnosis in the cancer ward exacting his revenge.
A lot of fighting cancer is done in a room by yourself. It's done in your own mind by yourself.
As Mark quietly fights leukemia, several Omaha sport organizations and figures have showed their support with autographs, hospital visits, and on-the-field commemorations.
I, in fact, feel a little bit selfish. I'm battling cancer, but I'm doing it because I want to live. Because I want to be a part of my family, I want to be a part of the community.
Mark does express concern moving forward in his remission, but that does not stop him from conquering every day.
I do have a little bit of fear, uneasiness from day to day, not knowing if it's going to come back or not. But you can't let that drag you down. You got to keep living your life, keep doing the best you can to win your day.
Ethan Anderson of Omaha Athletics endorses Mark's determination and work ethic while fighting leukemia.
To have that attitude, to work hard, I mean, you don't find that all the time. So we've been blessed to have a guy like Mark on our side.
Although nearing the 3-year anniversary of the diagnosis, Mark's journey is far from over as he receives monthly chemo. Additionally, he stresses the importance of never giving up.
To me, I can't quit. I have to continue fighting because there are people that love me, and to let them down would be letting me down. I can't quit because of them, and I won't.
For the Omaha News, I'm Harrison Pop.
Leukemia has a 61.4% survival rate, according to Medical News Today. Patients are considered cured after 10 years in remission. And that's all we have for sports this week. Jack, Cheyenne, back to you.
Thanks, Ethan. That was such an inspiring story. Coming up, looks like we have beautiful weather in store for this weekend. Corey Osborne brings you the forecast of the week ahead.
Next, an Omaha organization has been helping injured birds of prey for more than 40 years. We explore the intricate rehab process that one group goes through to help these birds fly again.
Keep it there. We'll be right back.
My name is Lindsay Nieper, and I teach Yoga 1 at UNO. I think my favorite thing about teaching yoga here at UNO is that there are so many benefits to practicing yoga consistently. Students who have never practiced yoga before are suddenly consistently getting 2 hours a week or more of yoga into their lives, and it can be really transformational for them to be able to practice so consistently and see positive changes in their bodies and their minds. I think that so many students are struggling with juggling their school commitments with their personal lives, oftentimes are working and really having a hard time finding balance. I think yoga can benefit any student by giving them a couple days each week when they can slow down their pace.
Phi Kappa Alpha has been the best decision I've made in college. It's really set me up to be ready for the real world.
I never thought I'd join Greek life at UNO, but some of my best memories have been at Pike.
Now for a look at weather, we go over to Corey Osborne with the current temperatures and 5-day forecast.
Thanks, Jack. Clear skies are the name of the game right now as we sit comfortably with no precipitation in sight. As for the rest of the night, as for right now, it is 58 degrees, but that will lower to 50 degrees around 8 o'clock tonight. You know, as for the overnight, we'll see temperatures that dip into the lower 40s or to the lower 40s to the lower 50s into the lower 40s as tomorrow morning approaches. Expect clear skies and slightly chilly temperatures, so definitely grab a jacket for your morning commute tomorrow. Now looking at the 5-day forecast. With the week ahead, tomorrow will be a considerably cooler day with a high of 54 degrees and a low of 26. Some more intense winds clocking in around 24 miles per hour. Friday will stay about the same with 54 degrees, but it will be warm all day with a low of 42. Getting into the weekend, the Saturday will crank up the heat quite a bit with a high of 70, and unfortunately, it'll still be a little bit cloudy in the midst of the temperature increase. The sunlight will emerge on Sunday with a high of 72 and a low of 44. Unfortunately, Monday, the temperature drops off considerably as the rains will put a literal damper on what would be otherwise a splendid weekend with a high of 45 degrees. Now we take a look at our current temperature map here. We have 58 in Omaha. We have 60 degrees in Blair. Honestly, wherever you are right now, it's a great time to go on a walk. So it'll be great here. We're pretty much staying into the upper 50s, lower 60s area, and it's perfect to be outside, and it's a great time. And you know, that will actually do it for the weather. And you know, everybody, just have a great time outside. And Cheyenne, back to you.
Thanks, Corey. Founded in 1976 as a volunteer nonprofit organization, the Raptor Recovery Program at Fontenelle Forest helps to rescue and rehabilitate injured birds of prey. Reporter Jack Hoover gives us a look behind the scenes at this unique program.
As you take a walk around the grounds of the Raptor Recovery Complex at Fontenelle Forest, you can observe many different types of birds of prey. But for most of the birds you'll see there, you won't see them taken to the skies anytime soon, as each is being extensively cared for after being rescued by the program.
The bird is out there, it is treated, it goes into our intensive care program. If surgery is needed, we have veterinarians throughout the state that will help us with that. And then it goes through a variety of stages, the end stage being a lot of exercise before we release that bird back to nature.
The birds that are in the program are brought in from across the state, each one of them usually needing urgent medical help. In order to help the birds as best they can, the Raptor Recovery Program offers treatment that is nearly all-encompassing. Every year, the Raptor Recovery Program cares for over 600 birds. Such an unusual workload brings with it unique challenges for its employees, such as animal care specialist Patrick Connor.
So I would kind of say sometimes when you get a wild bird in, sometimes they are scared. So you kind of have the kind of be a knowledge of that they're scared of you. We're we're a pretty big predator to them, and so you gotta kind of work in that. We don't stare them in the eyes. That could be a threat display. Everything from the way the birds are treated to the way they are fed and cared for is carefully thought out and measured. All of these steps and more are taken to ensure that for some birds that they rescue, they can find a way to fly again. For the Omaha News, I'm Jack Hoover.
The Raptor Recovery Program relies on a large number of volunteers in order to keep the program up and running. If you spot a bird of prey that you believe needs help, you can reach out to the Raptor Recovery Program.
The Democratic nomination for president is starting to take shape after the Florida primaries yesterday. Dubbed Super Tuesday, 14 states held primaries and caucuses to help narrow down the nominee for the Democratic Party. Former Vice President Joe Biden now leads after yesterday's events, with 433 delegates. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders sits in a close second with 388 delegates. Former New York Mayor Mike Bloomberg had a weak showing, only garnering 12 total delegates. As of Wednesday morning, Bloomberg has now suspended his campaign. The nomination will likely come down to the Florida primary on March 17th, with 219 delegates at stake.
That's all we have this week. Join us again next week for more stories in your community.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at UNO, the Omaha News, or check out our website for more news and stories at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television,
we'll see you next time.
I feel coming to UNO is a sense of community, feeling like I had a home, and so I chose UNO because of that. To me, access to exceptional is having a cheerleader in your life, and anybody who has stepped foot in UNO knows that somebody cares about you. School isn't just getting a GPA. To go above and beyond that is what's going to make you an exceptional applicant to a job or a graduate program.
Create your next adventure and travel the world at Omaha's award-winning Henry Dorley Zoo.
Hi there, my name is Dr. Adam Tima. I'm an associate professor here in the School of Communication. I'm here to tell you why you should take film theory and criticism. It's a 4,000, 8,000 level class that looks at film as a thing that cultures create, that we create. We go watch them all the time, but the question is, what do they say about us? It counts as an elective. It can count towards a graduate program if you're in graduate school. So if you're interested in looking at movies and what the movies say about us, I encourage you to check it out.
Dundee, home to Warren Buffett. It's located west of Midtown Omaha, Nebraska. It's a place in Omaha where neighbors can work, eat, relax, and live it up all within a few blocks. Come visit the neighborhood and see what Dundee has to offer.